Hi guys, it's Horsey Stuff, and today I am back with another Horse Trainer Reacts to Horse movies, and today we are continuing to watch the movie Running Free. We reacted to this movie just one other time, just kind of started the movie out, got a feel for where it was going, and now we're really getting into the movie. The dad is going to meet his daughter. I don't think they've really even talked for a long time, but she is moving in with him, which will hopefully get her away from the guy that steals cars and gets her involved in that. And hopefully this will help the dad with the depression I'm assuming he has that leads him to want to get back into alcohol as a former alcoholic. So without further ado, if you guys could go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future videos, that would help me out so much. And let's jump on into this movie and see how that introduction works. Alright, so she is just pulling up, gonna meet her dad and his wife for the first time, I think ever meeting the wife, and the first time in a long time seeing him, or at least talking to him. That is the opposite of a warm welcome. I'm gonna assume the aunt does not like the dad, which doesn't really shock me. It seems like the dad has caused a lot of trouble for her family over the years. But hopefully they can put their feelings aside for the best of Casey. They don't really have to like each other, just be friendly and courteous and kind to each other. And then Casey isn't even getting out of the car. She doesn't want to be there so bad, which makes it even more awkward. And Janice, the wife, does not like Casey already, and Casey kind of sitting in the vehicle not wanting to come out isn't giving her a good first impression anyway. Just lots and lots of tension. Does not look like a warm, happy introduction. Hopefully Janice will warm up to Casey and at least treat her kindly. I would have hoped that both of them would have just been super excited to see her and warm and welcoming, and they really aren't doing that. The dad, I think, because he's just so nervous, he really wants her to like him, and Janice because she doesn't want Casey here in the first place, but that's just gonna add to the fact that Casey already doesn't want to be here and make this a really awkward, awful situation. So hopefully they all warm up to each other quickly. Otherwise, this is just gonna be torture for them. For everyone involved, really. So awkward. I mean, he's at least trying. He's trying to like break the silence and seem warm and welcoming. I think he is really nervous, and that's why he's not as welcoming as I would have wished him to be. But I mean, everyone else, lordy, his wife Janice just emotes this, I don't want you here, please leave. And Casey is like, I don't want to be here, please let me leave. God, that's just awful. It's gonna be an intense few first days, I imagine.
Just tell me where to go so we can get this over with.
So rude. So rude and unnecessary. Although the aunt thinks this is the best move for Casey, I think already she's missing her and just hoping she's gonna do well and really thrive here. Because she really does love Casey and wants what's best for Casey. A big driver of this change was that Casey was hanging out with the wrong crowd and getting in trouble, and it just wasn't working out. The aunt wasn't able to raise Casey the way she wanted to raise her.
You're late.
Sorry.
So you need to work to earn your keep. Understood?
Alright, so the wife is already telling her she's gonna have to work. So the wife is already putting her to work, mad at her because she showed up down to the barn a little bit late for the chores that they're gonna give her. I think that's a little rude. I mean, this is not a small child and she's not been sent to like a punishment boot camp. So I think you could treat her kindly, let her ease into it a little bit, make the expectations clear, but allow her time to adjust. This is not a lifestyle she's used to. I think the wife really wants her gone, so she's hoping to make her life completely miserable here so that she definitely leaves. But unfair. I get chores are great, but don't be so rude about it. Like, be kind. At least get to know Casey before you're so mean to her. She seems like a pleasant girl.
She's bit every single one of us at least once, so don't touch her.
Oh, good. And they have an angry, aggressive horse that bites everyone. I'm sure that's gonna come back at some point in this movie. Already foreseeing maybe Casey bonds with her and they get along and she becomes some like magical, oh wow, she fixed the aggressive, angry mare. But at least I am glad this wife told Casey about that, warned her about it, so she didn't walk into a stall with a horse that like attacks people. I mean, bites experienced people that should be able to avoid it. They at least didn't set her up for physical harm in that sense, even though she's really not been nice to her yet.
You would think that these animals wouldn't be capable of that type of emotion.
Oh my god, okay, I really, really hate her. Just the whole way she's talking, like, it's shocking that this mare lost her colt and still mourns him a year later. I'm not shocked. What happens when you lose your baby? You're gonna mourn them for so long. I mean, it's not something you ever really get over. You just feel better about it. You get more used to that hole in your heart. That just rubbed me the wrong way. No wonder the mare's aggressive. No wonder she's angry. She probably hasn't been allowed to grieve, hasn't been allowed to connect with people in a way that she felt was productive to her grieving. And I'm sure the whole process of the foal being put down or taken away was absolutely traumatizing to her and really made her dislike people because she probably blames them for it. But with the recent loss in the mare's history, I'm sure the mare and Casey are going to bond over their mutual grieving, and that's kind of going to be the plot line for this movie. I already called it, so let's see if it happens.
I want to go home.
Now you listen here, miss.
Casey saying she wants to go home doesn't help anything. As much as I think Janice is being completely unfair, rude, and nasty to her, she doesn't need to dish it back. Be the bigger person. I mean, I know you're still a kid, but be the bigger person and, you know, say I want to be treated better, but also put in the work and make this relationship functional, because Janice is definitely not going to play that role. She's not going to make this relationship at all functional.
At least give him a fair shot. He's made mistakes. I know he hasn't been there.
Give him a fair shot? How about she gives Casey a fair shot? Like, who's talking here? She hasn't given Casey a fair shot since they freaking drove up the driveway and Casey got out of the car. She was already complaining about her back then. So she should be the one giving Casey a fair shot. I haven't seen Casey not give anybody a fair shot. Obviously, she doesn't want to be here, but that's not the same as not giving them a fair shot. Janice is not giving Casey a fair shot.
This is hard on all of us.
Yeah, mostly you, because you're entitled.
Let's just get to work.
Good idea. Get to work so you guys don't talk and bicker more, because you are not a nice person. Alright, so first task is cleaning saddles. These saddles look freaking immaculate already. I'm surprised that they're cleaning them. I would think running a riding academy, you would have your students clean the saddles, or they would not be like sparkling clean like that. I mean, none of my tack is that clean. Yes, I do clean my tack, but I'm not obsessive about it. There was a time I was, but honestly, it's so much work. I don't think it's worth it. I used to clean my tack every time I rode. I don't think it's worth it. But those saddles look like they're like fresh out of the box clean. It's crazy. I've never seen tack that clean. Not even when I go to a show. Like, I ride in the tack once, it's dirtier than that. That's crazy.
Weight on my shoulders, and it is awfully heavy, preacher.
It is really hard. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes in his past. He recognizes he made mistakes and he feels really bad for them. And I would start there. I would just say, I know I did all these horrible things and I feel so bad about it. You can't make up for it. It's up to her if she wants to forgive him and when she wants to forgive him. But at least you can communicate with her that you feel bad and you realize you made mistakes and you regret it. Because regret's a big deal, right? Like, I'm never gonna forgive somebody that doesn't regret their actions. That's at least a first step. Tell her you regret it. Obviously, like, the healing could take a lot longer. It sounds like he really put their family through hell and left and abandoned her, which I think she was old enough to remember. So it's gonna be hard for a child to forgive that, even though she is older now. But give it time, get to know her and start fresh, but have that understanding that you do regret it. I think that'll go a long way in repairing that relationship. This guy's just like such an eloquent speaker, and he's like, just find the sweetness in everything. I don't know that it's that simple, but all right.
Invest the time to rebuild a relationship with her.
That's good advice. I mean, basically what I said. Tell her you're sorry, tell her you regret your actions, and take the time to rebuild a relationship. As much as he's like fancy talker with all the best words, which I certainly am not, he is getting the right message across. So clearly some wiseness behind all of that fancy talk.
Love never fails.
Love never fails. In some ways that's accurate.
It takes as long as it takes.
Yeah, you can't put a timeline on when that relationship's gonna rebuild. It's gonna take the time it's gonna take, and you're just gonna have to keep investing until that relationship does grow.
You're going to have one of two pains in your life. You're going to have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Shoulders are getting weak. That burden down, son.
Why not both? Why not get rid of both? It's totally possible. I hope you guys enjoyed that second segment of Running Free. I'm getting into this movie. Hope you guys are too. Don't forget that all of the parts will be linked in the description box down below, so be sure to check them all out. And more reactions to horse movies at this point, Running Free, until we get through all of it, come out every Thursday and Saturday. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.